Welcome back to the Dabbler's Domain. We're still in Book 1, Flight from the Dark, in the Lone Wolf series. Last episode, we fought our major battle against the Gorgaz and snuck out a victory, to say the least. We were turning to section 235. Let's continue our journey. We have the prince's horse and are making haste for the king. The prince's horse is indeed a magnificent animal, fast and surefoot. You gallop along the forest highway until the noise of battle has disappeared far behind you. You are hungry and must eat a meal during your ride or lose 3 endurance points. So, again, we have hunting, so we don't need to eat a meal. Unless we're in certain sections, and it will say. So we are good. After several miles, the woodland highway comes eventually to a junction where 2 smaller roads head away in opposite direction. There is a wooden signpost lying beside the road. It has recently been hacked down and defaced so that the destinations are no longer legible. If you wish to use your Kai discipline of tracking, turn to 254. We do not possess this skill. So we can leave this junction and follow the highway left by turning to 32, or we can continue by way of the highway heading off to our right by turning to 146. First things first, section done, add endurance points, and we will 50-50 it. So do we turn left or do we turn right? 1 through 5, turn left. 6 through 10, turn right. We are turning left. So turn to 30. You have ridden about 3 miles along this timberland trail when in the distance you spot an unmistakable silhouette of 5 large doom wolves. Riding on their backs are geiks. They seem to be going on ahead to where the path leads down to an open meadow. Suddenly, one of the geiks leaves the others and begins to ride back along the path towards you. If you wish to hide in the undergrowth and let him pass, turn to 176. If you wish to fight him, turn to 340. Passage section done. Add a health. We are in no condition to fight, so we will be hiding in the bush, turning to 176. You hide behind some thick bushes so that the Doom Wolf and its rider will not see your white horse. Luckily, it works. The beast loops past and vanishes down the track that you have just come along. If you wish to attack the remaining Doom Wolves, turn to 253. If you wish to press deeper into the forest, turn to 126. Again, we are in no state to keep going. You spur the prince's horse to a gallop and race him deeper into the forest. This is a fine war horse, agile and strong, and by far the best horse you have ever ridden. Although the ground is a tangle of briars and roots, he never once falters. The geiks are soon left far behind. When you judge it is safe to do so, you slacken the pace, and then bring your mount to a halt, allowing him a few minutes to rest. The light has faded fast, and night is upon you. If you wish to press on ahead, turn to 46. If you wish to bear left, the same direction as the path you left behind, turn to 143. Press on ahead. You have covered about 2 miles when the trees ahead begin to thin out. You can see a lake ahead and a small wooden shack perched on the edge of its shoreline. A cloaked and hooded man steps out from the shack and approaches you. Before I forget, that was a cloaked and hooded man steps out from the shack and approaches you. As he comes nearer, he offers to row you and your horse across the lake for a fee of 2 gold. If you have the Kai discipline of 6 cents, turn to 296. If you accept this offer, turn to 246. If you refuse and try to ride around the lake, turn to 90. We will be using our 6 cents. 123. Look at that. 296. You sense that something is very wrong here. With fighting going on all around these parts, and the forces of the Dark Lords drawing ever closer, why has this ferryman decided to stay and continue his service at the lakeside? You focus on his face, but the detail of his features is hidden by the shadow of his hooded cloak. You feel a strange aura of evil about him, and swiftly decline the offer. You spur your horse away from the ferry house and its mysterious operator. You follow the shoreline for over an hour until you reach the far side, and then continue on your way from there. The light is worsening as night draws in. Turn to 90. I'm remembering. Night falls, and you are soon engulfed by a total darkness. To press on now would both be pointless and dangerous, for you could easily get lost or fall foul of some hidden enemy. You decide to get a few hours' sleep and continue at dawn. Tethering your horse to a tree, you find a comfortable place to rest nearby and settle down to sleep. Pulling your warm Kai cloak around your body, you sleep into a deep but troubled sleep. You may restore 3 endurance points. Now, do I get an extra one too? Because that's just... I'm not going to heal my... No, because I completed a thing. So yeah, I also get 1 for completing a section without being in combat. Turn to 18. You are awoken by the sound of marching troops. You climb to your feet and start back towards the lake in the far distance, focusing your keen eyes on the shoreline. You are able to make out a column of black-cloaked figures. They are Drakarim, and they have with them, as an escort, a pack of doom wolves with Geikul riders. A Kron suddenly appears above the distant trees and comes down to land on the roof of the ferry's boathouse. It is being ridden by a figure dressed in a hooded red cloak. The cloaked Kron rider appears to be conversing with the leader of the Drakarim column. After a few minutes, the column resumes its march around the shoreline, and the Kron takes to the air once more. It comes flying across the lake on a course that will bring it close to your hiding place. If you wish to use the Kai discipline of camouflage, turn to 114. If you wish to ride deeper into the forest, turn to 239. If you wish to fight the creature, turn to 29. So we are back up to 18. So the question is, do we want to fight or just hide? 18's not full health, and really hate to be 3 episodes into this and have to start again. I'm gonna play it safe. I think I'm gonna play it safe. We will ride. We don't have camouflage, so we can't use that. Do I 50-50 it? 1 through 5, we run. 6 through 10, we fight. We were only missing 5 endurance points. We run. We run. Okay. Run deeper into the forest, turn to 239. As you push into the forest, you hear the wings of the Kron pass above the trees and disappear northward. You ride on for nearly an hour until you come to a clearing. On the far side is a track that leads off to the south. If you wish to enter the clearing and take the south exit, turn to 34. If you wish to avoid the clearing, you can skirt around it under cover of the tree line and then pick up the track further along. Turn to 118. We are on a horse, so I feel like entering the clearing for our horse's sake would be best. So 34. Without warning, a terrible apparition clad in a red hooded robe comes swooping down from the morning sky on the back of a Kron. Its hellish cry freezes your blood. This creature is a Vordak, a fierce lieutenant of the Dark Lords. He and his winged mount are upon you in an instant, and you must fight them to the death. There they are. Vordak and Kron. All right. Time to enter in some info. Vordak and Kron. They have 27 endurance points. I have 20. We are in section 34. Now they have a combat skill of 19. We have a combat skill of 17, so that is a -2 combat ratio. Deduct 2 points from your combat skill unless you have the Kai discipline of Mind Shield, which I do. For this creature is attacking you with the power of its mind force as well, with a huge black mace. We have Mind Shield, so we don't lose it, so that would have brought it down to a -4 instead of a -2. So again, just one column, but that is what it is. If we win, we turn to 328. And we must fight this to the death. Here we go. -2. Let's roll. 5. Enemy loses 6. We lose 3. They're down to 21. We are down to 17. The next run. 6. They lose 7, and we lose 2. They're down to 14. We are just scraping by with 15. On to the next. 10. That is huge. That is a 0. So we lose nothing, and they lose 10. But they lose 10, and then we lose nothing. So they are down to 4. That is huge number right there for us. 9, even just as good. They are dead. They are dead. We have 1. We are down to 15 health though. If you win, turn to 328. As the creature dies, its body slowly dissolves into a vile green liquid which bubbles and froths as it soaks away into the ground. You notice that the grass and plants around the noisome pool of fluid are shriveling up and giving off wisps of smoke as they die. In the middle of the bumbling puddle is a large and valuable-looking gem. If you wish to retrieve the gem from the bubbling liquid, turn to 76. If you decide to leave the gem where it is, you can leave it in this place by turning to 118. Oh, do we pick up the gem? Or do we leave it be? My gut wants me to pick it up because I want to pick up everything. So, 1 to 5, we pick it up. 6 to 10, we leave it be. We leave it be. We leave it be. The dice has spoken. 118. You join the trail and spur your horse to a gallop. You race down this long, straight forest trail, and as you come to the crest of the gentle ridge, you catch a glimpse of Holmgard on the far horizon. Its high walls and tall spires are glinting in the morning sun. This woodland path arrives at a junction with a broad highway. You recognize this road. It is the main turnpike which connects the northern port of Tehran to the capital, Holmgard. Confident now that you are heading in the right direction, you set off towards the south. As you ride the highway, you keep your eyes peeled for signs of Kron in the clear morning sky. Turn to 224. You have ridden for several miles and have seen no sign of refugees or enemy soldiers. You continue to ride as fast as your horse will carry you until you find yourself approaching a high ridge. You feel confident that you will be able to see the capital from this high vantage point. As you crest the peak of the ridge, the sight that meets you on the far side is one that fills you with hope. But you quickly discover that there is also a new challenge, which must be overcome. Turn to 153. In the distance, you see the tall gray-white walls and glimmering spires of Holmgard. The colorful banners of the city's guilds are fluttering from the battlements in the fresh morning breeze. Stretching out towards the east, the mighty river Lidl winds its way from its source in the Derncrag Mountains, through the capital and out towards the broad estuary of the Holmgulf. When you turn your gaze towards the distant western peaks of the Derncrags, there you behold a sight that blights this magnificent landscape. Hovering among its jagged mountain tops, like dark and malevolent storm clouds, are swarms of Kron. They are mustering their numbers in preparation for an attack on the capital. In the narrow mountain passes below these swarms, you see vast columns of enemy troops on the march. Clearly, their intention is to assault and lay siege to Holmgard. You estimate that the main body of their vast army is now no more than 2 days' march from the city walls. The king's highwayman from Holmgard to Toron crosses the fertile rolling plain and farmland surrounding the capital. At a gallop, you reckon you will be able to reach the outer fieldworks of the city's defenses in under an hour. But to do so on horseback would entail having to cover several miles of open countryside, without any protection overhead. This will make you vulnerable to attack from the air by marauding Kron. You ponder the alternative routes that could bring you to the capital and determine 2 other options. Nearby, you can see a small river. It is the Daun, a tributary of the Elidel. It wends its sluggish way across the plain and flows into the Edel less than a mile from the walls of the capital. If you were to abandon your horse, you could use the gentle current to carry you downstream, towards the city's outer defenses. The river's banks are steeply undercut for most of the way, and they would offer you some cover as you approach the fieldworks. Or there is the final alternative. Situated between the river and the King's Highway is a vast burial ground. This place is called the Graveyard of the Ancients. It was constructed many centuries ago in an age before the Summerlending laid claim to this land and transformed it into a fertile wonder you see today. The tombs and crumbling monuments of this ancient necropolis would certainly conceal your approach to the city, but it is a forbidden area. You shiver when you recall tales you have heard about the nameless horrors supposedly lie here still, in restless sleep, waiting to corrupt and consume the unwary trespasser. If you will try your luck on the highway, turn to 202. If you feel you stand a better chance at reaching the capital via the river, then turn to 135. Or, if you are brave enough to risk the unknown perils of the Graveyard of the Ancients, turn to 329. In a past playthrough, I have taken the river. I don't remember if that was the one I posted or when I was playing by myself. I don't remember ever going to the graveyard. It is because I've always reached this point where here I'm low-ish and have never wanted to go. But we, on this time around, are going to go to the Graveyard of the Ancients on page 329. And that, my friends, is where we leave it for today. I've already gained my little endurance points. So until next time, to all my dominant dabblers who have stuck around to the end, thank you very much. We will traverse the Graveyard of the Ancients next time. We'll see you.